I'll get the whole thing.
Oh, right. Okay. Just before, I go to A&E and get myself a pacemaker fitted after all of that. Gonna have a quick chat about what has just happened. Arsenal have qualified for the quarterfinals of the Champions League for the first time in 14 years. Did it on penalties, did it the hard way, the Arsenal way, putting us through it. I've got Steve. They call me Stephen Osakwe to talk about this somehow. But before all of that, let's go. Welcome to the show, Steve. How you doing, man? You okay? You look pretty calm there. I'm sure you weren't about half an hour ago.
Yeah, didn't want penalties. I'll tell you
that. Oh man, it was like a car crash. You could just see it happen in slow motion. You just knew when it got to 20 minutes, second half. I think we messaged. I said we need to get a goal before the last 15, 20. Because you know what's going to happen. They're just going to shut it down, and it's going to go to extra time, and then whatever happens. But let's try and make sense of what's happened. Arsenal first knockout stage victory at this stage of the Champions League, first time in 14 years. Mikel Arteta's first home knockout victory in Europe. What could you say, Steve, about the actual lineup? It looked to me like it was going to be pretty much straightforward with Raya coming back in, and wow, did we need him back in? I kind of thought maybe he might put Jesus out on the left because of his pedigree, what he's done in Europe before. Stayed with Trossard, and obviously, that paid off. But what does this, what does the result mean going forward? We've got obviously 3 weeks off, 2 weeks and a bit off. We haven't got to have a game before we play City. But what's your thoughts on what this result will do to the team? And obviously we're looking forward to the draw. But what's your thoughts? What's your initial thoughts as soon as that penalty was saved by David Raya?
It's confidence going forward, isn't it? That's all we wanted. We wanted to see progress for the longest of times in the past 2.5 seasons with Mikel Arteta. We've seen progress at every stage. Yes, we were naive last season in the Champions League, and the injury didn't help us. This season, I think, with this quarterfinal game, we I don't want to say we didn't respect them, but I don't think I think everybody was just thinking, we get the home leg and then we'll put them to the sword. We don't do things that way, like I said, the confidence going forward is massive. I can't stress that enough. This gives the players that extra boost, no matter what happens in the next round and who we get in the draw. This gives the players the boost to go, right, we've got over a hurdle. What next hurdle can we get over? We're going forwards, and that's the Arsenal motto: always forward.
Yeah, I mean it's just the achievement. I think you saw the build up to it. What Arteta was saying with the fans, getting the atmosphere going, and the atmosphere sounded amazing. First half, looked like we were really up for it. But Porto, for me, I think I don't know whether I messaged you or somebody else. If someone had pulled off a mask. If their manager ripped up a mask like Scooby-Doo and it was Jose Mourinho underneath it, I wouldn't have been surprised with the way that they played over both legs. It's just something to do for something with the water with Portuguese teams, whether it's a national team or the teams that we play against. There's a way that they play the game which is just totally different. The whole gamesmanship and the snideness and everything's just ingrained in it. It must be there from all the academies or something. But that was almost like a Porto. That was like a tribute, their performance to a Mourinho side. I mean, they had their moments. They did probably press us a lot more than I kind of thought they would. I thought it would have been like two double-decker buses at the back there, mostly. But there was a point in the first half where they had 60-something% possession, like 62% possession. I think there was only like 50 passes between the number of passes that both teams have made in the second half as well. I just think going through the mill, which we've done tonight, and what we did at the weekend, I just think this break is going to come at exactly the right time so everyone can recharge. I know we have an international break as well, but I think we missed Martinelli tonight. I really do think we missed him tonight. I think there would have been occasions because when he's not there, we don't get in behind as much. There's those balls, weren't there? Those diagonals, and I must say, we love him and everything, but I must say I was disappointed with Saka's performance tonight because I just think, start of the game, the anthem goes along and he looked like he was locked in. He looked like he was focused, but it looked like it almost was the occasion kind of got to him, because he's Highland, he knows what it means. I think the occasion got to him, and I think the player got to him. I think sometimes when the Saka plays against someone who seems to have not the beating of him, but can match up really well. They're physically strong, they're quick. I think when he plays against someone like that, it kind of throws him off his game a little bit. It's almost like he gets disinterested, but he loses a little bit of heart, and maybe that affects his game because his level. There were some things he was doing, some of the passes he was doing, he's knocking the ball straight out. What do you think of his performance tonight? And then anyone that stood out for you tonight, who led from the front, who kept going?
Yeah, I would. Me, Mike. I'll always defend our players, and Saka I'll defend. It wasn't his best game. Let's be honest. Whether it be the occasion, what it means. The pressure I think that he felt is this pressure that he puts on himself. He always, from when Aubameyang left, he said he wanted to be that guy. And being that guy every single game is difficult. You look at players of what we call our elite two, of Messi and Ronaldo, for example, over the past 10, 15 seasons that they've been the best. It took them a while to get to that sort of level. It took them a while to be able to go, yes, week in, week out, I will be able to perform. So yes, he wasn't at his best. I still don't think, it just seems like no referees give him any sort of protection whatsoever. So that also plays in him. He's thinking maybe he's gonna not want to get himself injured by overcommitting himself. But it wasn't his best game, But when it mattered, that penalty, when it mattered, those are demons exercised right there. He stepped up. He's still that guy. He will still tell you, his aim is to be that guy, to be Mr. Arsenal. So it's something for him to learn. He's got 19 days. Well, apart from playing full England matches, that Southgate making play the full 90 minutes. But he's got time to learn, and it's okay. It's okay. Standout performance. There's a few. Declan Rice again. There was a couple of last-minute interceptions. Yeah, there's the guy. Absolute colossus in midfield there. I thought Jorginho did well. I think our back four did relatively well. I think the only person that sort of worried me, believe it or not, was our Rolls Royce at the back. A couple of moments from him. And I think in recent weeks there's been a few moments from him. So again, I think this break will do him some good, just to relax and refocus again. Gabriel at the back he's just a monster. The guy is just a monster. Trossard took his goal fantastically well. If we look at who else was there, Kirill did well. Shouts out to him as well. Give him his flowers, Mike. He had a solid game. Didn't really put a foot wrong. But our captain, it has to be our captain. Standout performance. Didn't even stop running, even in extra time. even in extra time, the guy didn't stop running. Absolute total performance from that guy. Every sort of praise that comes his way from that performance is fully and justifiably deserved. Absolute performance. From linking play, from tracking back, whatever the guy done, he did it with 100% passion. When somebody talks about, playing for the club, playing for the shirt, playing for themselves and playing for their team and manager, that was the performance.
Yeah, it's outstanding. Yeah, non-stop performance, non-stop running. Stepped up first. I think he won the toss as well. Stepped up, put the penalty away. Was trying to conduct the fans all the way through. Really meant a lot to him, and massive achievement. Because everyone keeps saying, Arsenal can't win the league. They're not got the experience to win the league. They can't win the Champions League because they haven't got the experience and they've not done it before. Well, I'm sorry that normally teams that haven't done it before and do win their league titles or Champions League haven't done it before, haven't had the experience to do it before. So you can say that to that Liverpool side that Klopp put together, who only won that one league they've won. That group of players hadn't won it before until they did it. So so it's a silly kind of narrative that we can't do what's in front of us or we can't achieve it because we haven't done it before. Yes, I definitely think the way we had to go through the mill is definitely going to be something that they're going to reflect upon. Porto, for all the trouble that they caused us tonight, they still haven't scored a goal away from home against Arsenal in the Champions League, which is a good thing. We kind of said that before to go through, we would need to keep a clean sheet, and we did. I did think a couple of the players, the occasion kind of got to them a little bit. There was a lot of nerves there. I think both centre backs were bit. There was a bit in the first half where the ball came down to Saliba. Do you remember that? And he headed it, and he had loads of time to bring it down. It was like, what are you doing? And it was mad. And then I think Gabriel did something in the second half. So it was like the occasion got to them, but that's going to happen. They're young and they're trying to build this together. But I just think what we did, the way we went through, you see that picture there. That's a massive moment that they all will sort of, reflect upon, hopefully, over the next couple of weeks. And, especially when they're around London Colney, especially your boy, Ben White, who I thought was superb again tonight. He's obviously not going anywhere. He's not going on any international break anytime soon, is he? So he'll be fresh. Maybe take a sneaky trip to Dubai, maybe, or he spend some time on the sunbeds. I don't know, but yeah, it's just buzzing to get through. I went mad when Trossard scored. I ripped my jumper. So I'm gonna have to get the missus to try and stitch it together because she's better at that stuff than me. Ripped my jumper, so I'm a bit peeved off about that. But that maybe was a little bit of a sign of you're gonna suffer the rest of the night because of that. But so what's your thoughts, really, Steve, on how we play it now going forward, especially with what we've got to come? The bench looks strong tonight, obviously. With the guys on there, but fingers crossed we could go to City with a really stocked bench and firing lineup. Who are going to get this confidence? And what's your thoughts? Just looking forward, spinning it forward 2 and a bit weeks.
Look, I'll quickly go back just to tonight's performance.
Yeah, sure.
We had to go through it, Mike. We had to go through it. We don't do things easy, and we look back at the whole FA Cup game, and everybody was like, oh yeah, we should do it. We should smash them. We go 1 goal, 2 goals down. I'm at the bar at this point, but we came back and we did it. And today, again, I think even after the first leg, everybody was saying we should batter them at home and this, that, and the other. And you go, listen, there's no easy games. Premier League, Champions League, League Cup, FA Cup, there's no easy games. Everybody talks about, it's an easy game and whatever else. It's only an easy game after you've played it. So we had to go through pain in order to enjoy tonight. We had to go through it. And moving forward, we look at the Man City game, and I don't think it's worth disrupting the team. everybody's fit, the 11 that started tonight, I don't think there's anybody worth bringing back in, because it disrupts harmony. Partey needs minutes. Jesus needs minutes. Zinchenko needs minutes. Again, a couple of sloppy passes from him, and sloppy bits of possession, but he hasn't played. You know, I'm not knocking him. He hasn't played, so it's expected, those sort of things. I think, like I said, going forward for the City game, the team picks itself at the moment. Unless there's like, you know, an injury. Like I said, Havertz can start up front. Jesus will have to hold the bench, and he will have to get used to that. Because Havertz has been playing well. He's held up the ball. Like I said, he put his body on his line. He put his body on the line tonight, and took a knee to the back, and you know, a couple of other things, and blah blah blah. And you know, it's all part of the game. I'm not here complaining about it. The ref was as equally as bad for us as he was for them. But he doesn't walk into the team, if you know what I mean. So Arteta will be hopeful that we can cheeky trip to Dubai, top up Ben's tan, come back, and we're good to go.
That was great. With Havertz, I mean, he almost kind of done a Pepe where he's pulling shirts on people, sneaky ones, and you know, that goal got disallowed. But obviously they looked on VAR and it was disallowed. It was, you know, pretty obvious. But no, you're right. I think it's going to be great to have the likes of Tomiyasu, Zinchenko, Partey, and Jesus. You know, just having those guys on the bench would be pretty amazing. You know, to know you've got the options there. And you're right, the team has done the job. Maybe Martinelli comes in if he's fit for Trossard, but then that puts Trossard on the bench. You know, and we know how good he is coming off the bench. You know, maybe more impactful than he is when he starts. But then obviously he tucked away, lovely goal tonight. Again, obviously touching on what you said about Odegaard, the feet he showed and the pass and the vision to slip that through. You know, it took a fair credit to Porto. It took a great goal to finally breach them, you know, and it was just so good to put one over because they're such a horrible side to play against, you know, full of housery and stopping the game, cramp and all that. You know, someone did the scissor kick, land on his back, and he uses that as an excuse to say, "Oh, I'm injured," and stuff. You know, little things like that. Just, you know, teams like that. You know, you don't want to see teams like that. You want to see teams, you know, show their quality and go for it. And I'm sure that's going to be a team that we're going to play against in the next round, unless we get Inter or Atletico, maybe. You know, if Atletico go through, you know, it's going to be a strong lineup, whoever we get. But you know, let's see. But no, a fantastic night. You know, well done to the boys of breaking that ceiling, I should say. You know, I'm sure there were lots of people waiting with the banter and the memes and stuff like that, and the radio shows. We know who they are, who would have been winding up and waiting to give us the full treatment. But yes, they can remain quiet whilst their teams do whatever. And we'll look forward to hopefully an interesting draw on Friday, and we'll be back to talk about that and other bits and pieces during the break we've got. I'm sure. I mean, maybe it will be Dubai. Who knows? I don't know what they're going to do. But everyone keeps asking what happened over there, so why not? Maybe some more gold steak. But yeah. I'm not going to get some gold steak. I'm sure Steve will get some gold steak to celebrate with a nice glass of wine. But me, I'm going to be off to A&E because I really do need to get checked over after that. That was ridiculous. That was.
Like I said, the miss is called the penalty miss, and yeah, she was confident with it as well, Mike. She was just like, he's going to miss. And I'm still there going, I don't know. And then he missed, like, you know, Raya saves it. You just go, she's called it. She's called it.
No, brilliant stuff for Raya. Really, yeah, well called and brilliant stuff. Because that I think that's the moment for Raya. You know, I think it was what we listened to another show and they said Raya needs to pull off a massive save or a big save in a big game, important game. And look, he's done two in a massive moment for Arsenal. So I think all those naysayers that were maybe around about us having him and Ramsdale, whatever, I think that's gone now completely. You know, this is, you know, and he's not just the penalty saves. I think his performance during the whole game was superb. really calm. And yeah, massive moment for him and the team. And let's hope we get a nice draw. And second leg at home again, maybe, and then see what happens. But yeah, thanks for your time, Steve. I know it's a quick, short one, but we needed to get something logged after this because that was a great moment in this great season so far.
Just very quickly, Mike. I know we've talked about it in pretty much every pod because I always mention it. I do feel that we have another gear, and by that I mean, I don't think I trusted his bench enough at the right moments, if you know what I mean. We got the results. Obviously, whatever I say means nothing. I would have liked to. I think that game tonight was, if we had a bit of pace on there, a Martinelli, it might have been a bit different, if you know what I mean. Yeah, I was hoping to see someone like Nelson come on at some point. Yeah. But whatever I say makes no difference because we won the game at the end of the day. Do you know what I mean? I'd like to see him just trust his bench a bit more.
Yeah, I think that's definitely something that we need to address. We've only got one player who's got genuine pace to get in behind the stretch teams, and that's Martinelli. When he's not there, the closest person we kind of have is Nelson, but he doesn't kind of trust him that much. And I think Nelson kind of likes ball to feet rather than running onto it as much. He likes to use his skills and dribble past people, whereas Martinelli, we know you can just knock it into that grass and he'll run after it. And then when he's not there, you can see, that's a big part of our weaponry that we haven't got to use, and it makes things a little bit more difficult. So yeah, that's something that he's going to have to address in the summer. 100%, he has to get someone in as an alternative. Preferably, great if they can play both sides, because then you've got Saka and then you've got Martinelli who can kind of come out if need be. But yeah, we definitely need to get Martinelli back because we're going to need him to give us that option. But yeah, you're right, man. Great night. Let's take in all the content that's going to come out, the bench cams and everything else over the next couple of days, because we pretty much ain't got nothing else to do now. There's no more games, so we'll content that. We'll drink all the Kool-Aid and everything else, and all the tears of all the rivals and the ops about saying, "Oh, lucky Arsenal," stuff, whatever. So Arsenal are through to the Champions League quarterfinals. We'll be back to talk about who we get and dissect that and everything else. And me and Steve probably will start making some research for some hotels around Wembley away in May, hopefully. And we won't tell the missus. Hopefully they won't watch this. I don't think they watch this anyway. But yeah, we'll have that chat as well. Keep it on the QT, and yeah, we'll be back. We'll be back in maybe at the weekend just to chat about that and everything else. So thanks to Steve for your time.
That's up like a pacemaking business, Mike. I tell you, good money.
Yeah. I tell you, if they did an Arsenal one, it would sell. I'm sure it would sell because we're getting some heart-stopping moments. One on Saturday and tonight. Madness. But no, thanks, Steve. Thanks for your time. Thanks everyone for watching. Fantastic achievement from the boys. Well done. And yeah, let's see who we get, and we'll be back at the weekend. Come on, let's do it.
Man, remember, Giroud into the box, and they have immediately.